The Green Mile cast reveals what most fans never knew. Widely praised as one of the best Stephen King adaptations, this film touched hearts in a way few ever have. Even the toughest viewers admit it made them cry. It's a story that made us care deeply about a man on death row, a tale of supernatural grace, injustice, and redemption that ranks among the most emotionally powerful films ever made. But what if there's more? Hidden layers, secret meanings, clues only insiders know. Today, we uncover The Green Mile's deepest secrets. Straight from the cast and crew come the behind-the-scenes stories, symbolic moments, and details that reshape how we see Paul Edgecombe's journey. From Tom Hanks's revelations about his character's spiritual path to Michael Clarke Duncan's incredible transformation, this is the side of The Green Mile few have ever seen. This is The Green Mile like you've never known it. And once you hear these truths, you'll never watch it the same way again. But first, did you know this film almost didn't happen? After The Shawshank Redemption underperformed at the box office, director Frank Darabont hesitated to adapt another King prison story. Studios weren't sold on a 3-hour death row drama. It was Tom Hanks's involvement, fresh off Forrest Gump and Saving Private Ryan, that finally gave the project momentum. Darabont took a huge risk. He refused to cut down the film. He believed every minute was essential to the story's emotional impact. That artistic conviction is part of what made The Green Mile unforgettable. And it all began with the set, the prison that became The Mile. Unlike Shawshank, which used a real prison, The Green Mile required a custom-built set. Oscar-winning designer Terrence Marsh recreated death row with stunning historical detail. That green linoleum? It's the exact shade used in southern prisons of that era, anchoring the story in gritty realism. Even the wiring and light fixtures were era-accurate. David Morse, who played Brutus Brutal Howell, has said the carefully crafted set changed how the cast performed. It wasn't just a set, it pulled them into the world. The Green Mile corridor was built to create unease. The deeper you walked, the darker it became. The lighting shifted, the atmosphere grew heavier, reflecting the growing emotional weight of the story. The set became a silent character in the film. The crew even built a fully functional electric chair, nicknamed Old Sparky, complete with smoke and lighting effects that made executions feel disturbingly real. Special effects coordinator Charles Gibson made sure each sequence had an uncomfortable intensity. Sam Rockwell, who played Wild Bill, recalled how tense the set felt during execution scenes. Dell's botched execution was filmed in as few takes as possible, partly due to cost, but also to limit the emotional toll. The cast has shared that before filming, director Frank Darabont had them silently inhabit their roles inside the cell block for an entire afternoon. Guards stood at their posts, inmates stayed in their cells. No lines, no direction, just presence. What many fans don't realize is that the actors developed rich backstories for their characters, never spoken aloud, but deeply felt. Tom Hanks imagined Paul Edgecombe as a World War I veteran. That history explained his quiet strength and why Percy's cruelty disturbed him so deeply. It reminded him of war. Michael Clarke Duncan studied patients in hospitals to better understand vulnerability. In his cell, he kept Coffey's posture small, childlike. But during healing scenes, his stance shifted, calmer, powerful, otherworldly. A subtle transformation most viewers feel, even if they can't explain why. Doug Hutchison, who played Percy, based his performance on a real bully from his childhood. That personal memory helped him give Percy a chilling realism. His cruelty wasn't cartoonish, it felt familiar and frightening. All these choices brought an emotional authenticity that lifted the film far beyond a typical prison drama. The characters felt lived in because the actors lived in them. There's also a layer of symbolism running quietly through the film. Cast and crew have pointed out that the color green appears often in moments tied to death, not just the floor of the mile. It's in the curtains of the execution chamber, in Dell's dry sponge, even in the shimmer of Wild Bill's eyes. It's a visual thread that connects the most intense moments, but most viewers only catch it subconsciously. Even the healing scenes carry deeper weight, reflecting not just physical recovery, but something spiritual. And like so much in The Green Mile, it works its magic without ever needing to explain itself. When John Coffey cures Paul's urinary infection and Melinda Moore's brain tumor, it's more than physical healing. It's spiritual transformation. Everyone John heals undergoes a deep change. Paul begins to question his role in carrying out executions. Melinda doesn't just regain health, but innocence, speaking to John as one child might to another. John isn't just healing bodies, he's healing souls. The film is filled with biblical references that deepen its themes. When John says, "I'm tired, boss, tired of being on the road," lonely as a sparrow in the rain, it echoes Psalm 102, "I lie awake, like a bird alone on a roof." This connection turns John into a Christ-like figure, abandoned, suffering, yet divine. Small moments take on new meaning with this in mind. When John's chains are removed before execution, it mirrors Christ being taken down from the cross. The mouse, Mr. Jingles, is more than comic relief. He's the film's moral compass. Notice who shows him kindness and who doesn't. Dell treats him gently despite his flaws. Percy tries to kill him simply because he can. Paul chooses to protect him. This early test foreshadows how they treat John Coffey later. The film's weather is storytelling too. Dell's botched execution happens amid a violent thunderstorm. When John confesses to Paul, the world is unnervingly still. John's execution takes place under a clear, moonlit sky, peaceful and serene. In the epilogue, Paul visits John's grave on the first sunny day in the film. Every other outdoor scene is gloomy or dark. The sun only shines when Paul shares his story, symbolizing the burden lifted. John's fear of the dark, revealed before his execution, humanizes him. Despite his powers, he's vulnerable and scared. This explains why the guards don't place the execution hood over his face, a profound act of mercy. The unsettling dynamic between Percy Wetmore and Wild Bill Wharton highlights two evils: institutional cruelty and chaotic violence. Wild Bill's torment of Percy leaves him traumatized and catatonic, a fitting poetic justice. Studio executives wanted to cut Percy's role, but Darabont knew showing both evils was essential to the story's moral depth. And here's a major secret: the ending was almost completely different. The powerful epilogue showing an elderly Paul Edgecombe, alive decades later thanks to John's touch, almost got cut. Studios wanted to end with John's execution, but Darabont insisted because the story is about living with the consequences of our choices. Michael Clarke Duncan's rise from bodyguard to Oscar nominee is inspiring, proving how hidden talent and courage can lead to greatness. Though The Green Mile made $136 million in 1999, not a blockbuster, it found lasting success on home video and cable. It demands full emotional attention, becoming a beloved classic. As it nears 25 years, the film still resonates by exploring universal themes: fear of death, hope, grace in broken systems, without preaching, inviting viewers to wrestle with justice and compassion. Its power lies in deep humanity and moral courage, from the authentic set to Duncan's moving performance. John Coffey's words, "You be kind to them, each and every one," capture its heart. Watch again for green symbolism, weather cues, and how kindness to Mr. Jingles reveals character. Share it with someone new. It's magical to see fresh reactions. If you liked this, please like, subscribe, and comment your favorite moment.